Hey, what's up, everyone? So it's February 1st, 2026, and I gotta admit, I woke up feeling kind of nostalgic today. I was just scrolling through the viral charts, and you know what I saw? Something wild. SB19's 2020 album, Get in the Zone, is trending. Again. I mean, maybe it's because we're all still processing that whole Simula at Wakas news, right? Or maybe some tracks are just timeless. Anyway, it got me thinking about one song, one very specific song. 'Cause have you ever felt like that? Like your heartbreak just needed a beat drop? Well, SB19 delivered exactly that. Today we're talking about a track that I feel doesn't get nearly enough credit for the absolute technical surgery it performs on our hearts. Love Go's EDM version. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're gonna put this track on the operating table and really see what makes it tick, what makes it pump, and honestly, what makes it hurt so good. So on the surface, this thing is an absolute banger, right? It's designed to make you move. But just like an iceberg, what's happening below the surface, all that technical and emotional machinery, is just staggering. Trust me, this is so much more than your generic club track. All right, let's get into the mechanics of it all, the very pulse of this song. What is actually going on under the hood that makes us have such a physical reaction to it? So, structurally, the track is running at a pretty brisk 128 beats per minute. Now, in the world of electronic music, 128 BPM is basically the golden ratio for house music. It is the absolute sweet spot, the perfect tempo to get your body moving without feeling, totally frantic. It's also just fast enough to kind of mimic a panicked but still steady heartbeat. But the real genius move here? It's the heavy sidechain compression. This is that breathing or pumping sound you hear, where the synths literally get out of the way every single time that kick drum hits. It creates this physical sensation, like a heartbeat. It's almost as if the song itself is literally gasping for air, which is, wow, a perfect mirror to the lyrics about a love that just won't let you breathe. And this technique, this is how they keep the story right up front. I mean, usually an EDM remix just buries the original emotion, But not here. No way. The producers expertly carved out these very specific frequencies. They gave Still and Pablo's vocals this high shelf boost right around 10 kilohertz, which gives them that crystalline, almost ethereal sheen. And at the same time, they let the kick drum punch right through at 40 to 60 hertz. So what's the result? Their story, the one about love going away, stays the undeniable focus of the song. So let's talk about how this all builds up, because all that technical precision, it creates a feeling, right? An atmosphere that's just completely unique. This is where the machine really meets the soul. I've always thought of this track as like a glitch in a neon cathedral. You're surrounded by these soaring, beautiful synth leads that feel like shards of glass, just catching the light in this massive digital space. It's sacred and chaotic all at the same time. It's like they turned heartbreak into this kinetic, vibrating thing. The chord progression here is a classic, but the magic is all in how they use it. In that pre-chorus, they use this one specific chord change that builds an almost unbearable amount of tension. Seriously, it's like pulling back a bowstring, just setting you up for that massive, cathartic release when the drop finally hits. That is musical storytelling at its absolute finest. So I have to ask you, which version do you usually find yourself streaming more? Are you team original ballad, or do you need this high-octane EDM surge? You gotta let me know in the comments, because I am genuinely torn today. Ultimately, this production is just a masterclass in balance. It lets you live in those sad boy hours from the lyrics, while at the same time giving you this undeniable main character energy out on the dance floor. It's literally the sound of dancing through the pain. Looking back from where we are now in 2026, it's just wild to think about how this one kind of experimental track was like a seed that grew into this massive legacy. And hey, speaking of this journey, quick pause. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the P-pop archives, would you do me a huge favor and hit that like button? And definitely subscribe. We are on the road to the next big era, and I really want all of you here for the ride. Just take a second and look at this number. 1 billion. And that number, that's why we're having this conversation today. Because just last month, in January of 2026, SB19 officially flew past the 1 billion stream mark on Spotify. That is an absolutely monumental achievement.
This milestone is so significant that Reuters is actually calling it a cultural pivot point for original Filipino music. This wasn't just a win for the group, it was a signal to the entire world about the power and the reach of this whole industry.
And you can literally trace it all back. This EDM version back in 2020, it was one of their first really bold experiments with global sounds. It proved they weren't just a boy group. They were a sonic laboratory. They were laying down the blueprint for the P-pop explosion that we're all living in right now.
So what's the final verdict on this track 6 whole years after it came out? Let's get to the final cosmic score. Okay, I'm giving this a 9.5 out of 10 layers of cosmic dust. And why? Because it's everything art should be. It's technical, it's messy, it's emotional, and it is just so unapologetically loud about its own pain.
And ultimately, that's what this song is. It's the sound of a heart breaking not with a whimper, but with a supercharged, synth-fueled bang. Yeah, it's the sound of a heart breaking at the speed of light. Before you go, I want to leave you with this question. Forget about just this song for a minute. What was the first SB19's song that made you sit up and realize that P-pop wasn't just coming, but that it was going to take over the world? Drop your answer in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me.